Namaskar, greetings and welcome. Shubh Ram Navami to everyone. Welcome to the online edition of Delhi International Arts Festival. Delhi International Arts Festival is recognized all over the world as India's iconic festival of the arts. Beginning its journey way back in 2007, it is a significant platform for cultural diplomacy and cultural tourism. DIAF celebrates arts in multifaceted aspects, and it is recognized all over the world as India's prestigious arts festival. In DIAF, we have had over 50,000 artists from all over India and more than 60 nations performing at Delhi International Arts Festival. In its Amrit Mahotsav edition, DIAF celebrates the great epics, the great warriors who fought for freedom, policies and decisions of the central government celebrating and encouraging support for women empowerment, ecology, good sanitation, clean drinking water, amongst others. Once again, welcome to the online edition of Delhi International Arts Festival, and today, on the pious occasion of Ram Navami, we have a very special panel discussion. A unique platform of deliberation is there today, wherein we have three renowned gurus, choreographers with us. The renowned gurus who are known by their distinct form of arts and styles and dance. Pleased to welcome on this very special occasion Padma Shri and Sangeet Natak awardee Pratibha Prahaladji, Sangeet Natak awardee Vanashri Raoji, and Alakanandaji. Greetings to everyone and welcome on this very special panel discussion on the pious occasion of Ram Navami. Shubh Ram Navami to everyone, and let's begin. How important is Lord Ram in your lives?
From my childhood, my mother used to every day read the Ramayana to us. We were 6 brothers and sisters, and we grew up on Ramayana and Mahabharata. And then also she used to show us the Ravi Verma's paintings in our old Ramayana which we had. And then we used to really imagine the scene where Ravan is doing the Sita Apaharan, kidnapping Sita, and all the other pictures I remember vividly. Also the message of doing dharma, that is justice, the character of Rama, the character of Sita, the character of Hanumanji and Lakshman. These were all messages given to us from childhood. So it is, I think, inside me, like it is imbibed in our thought process that we are part of, that great culture of Ramayana.
Beautiful indeed that how our civilization nurtures ethos of justice. And with that, let me come to Pratibhaji. Pratibhaji, originality in your artistic works and presentations, we all are familiar with that. Now, when we talk about Lord Rama, his story is known to everyone. But with that, the important side wherein we want to learn from you, how would you choreograph an original work on Lord Ram's life, not just a story? Pratibhaji, please.
Well, that's a kind of a very pointed question, but I'd like to continue with what Srimati Vanashri Rao just said, that Ramayana and Mahabharata are central to our lives and to our, to our growing up years. Because even in my family, not only my grandparents but the larger family used to celebrate Ramayana with great aplomb for 9 days. And we used to celebrate the last day as Ram Navami, but then the entire 9 days period was in praise of Lord Rama. In fact, my grandmother first started it and my aunt continued it, where they used to keep, the Ram Darbar, as you call it in North India, in the center of the God's room in their houses, and every single day they would do puja to that, the statue. And then my aunt was a musician, so she would sing Tyagaraja's Pancharatna Kritis, Tyagaraja's Utsava, Sampradaya songs every single day for about 2 hours, 3 hours kind of a puja. And when I was a little girl, I used to sit there and I used to kind of get very immersed in the music, offering to Rama and all the goodies they made for him, the kheer and the kadabu and the halwa and the holige and all those delicacies of Karnataka. I believe when I was very young, my family used to tease me that I would sit in the God's room after everybody left, eat all those sweets, and tell Rama that he was very greedy and that he took so much of puja from my family, and that we sang his praises all the time, but he never shared anything with us. So and they used to tease me and say, you should talk to Ram and say, why are you so greedy? Why are you not even responding? Everyone's praising you, and you're not saying anything to us. But I do think that I have Ram's blessings in my life, because like Vanishri ji said, he stands for dharma. And dharma, the loose translation of dharma is justice. Justice is not really the translation of dharma. Dharma means so many other things. Righteousness, it's a certain kind of righteousness of living, righteousness of thought, righteousness of conducting your life with dignity, come what may. Because Ram had a lot of problems in life, but he actually overcame them with so much stoicism, with resilience and with dignity. And I think that's what my takeaway from his life is, that come what may, one has to overcome those difficulties with a certain equanimity, of being, and knowing that this is the only way forward. Having said that, I really believe that Mahabharata too is very, very important to our culture, to our families, and we have learned a lot from these beautiful epics, because they have taught us how to conduct our lives come what may. And all those stories of all these gods and and others, they just teach us how to live our lives with dignity, with resilience, with courage, and in somewhat lesser way, compassion and nobility.
That was indeed very interesting, trying to understand the idea of the way of life through the life of Lord Ram in a bigger framework, that it implies righteousness. With that, let me come to Alaknanda ji. How important is Lord Ram in your life?
Well, as they've said that Lord Ram has been a very integral part of our lives, I've also heard stories from my spiritual guru about Lord Ram. But during my time, there was this technology boom, and came the television and B.R. Chopra's Ramayana and Mahabharata. And it was the time when the whole city used to go dead and used to be in front of our television just to watch how the Ram story used to go on, and all those fights of the Vanar Sena and the Ravanas. So definitely it has been a part of our growing up. We have grown up on this, and it used to be a family affair. Like nowadays it is so much of a nuclear family, but at that time I remember my grandparents, my parents, me, my cousins, even our neighbors. Any house that had a television, the neighbors used to come in because they didn't have a television, and we used to all sit together. It was a part that made us feel so much a part of the same society, a same country, the same religion. And I think everybody, be it a Hindu or a Muslim or a Christian, it didn't matter. Everybody was watching Ramayana because it doesn't talk about religion, it talks about the values of life. I think that is what has instilled in us, and it goes beyond any religion, and Ramayana is a part of all religion, all values, and everybody's life.
Indeed, very interesting perspective that Lord Ram is eternally significant. His way of life, the message behind Lord Ram's life is of timeless significance. Very beautiful indeed. And As we began our discussion on the very important note that we have renowned gurus and choreographers who are indeed known at national and international level for their distinct art forms. With that, let's come to the other side of the deliberation. How would you all choreograph an original work on Lord Ram's life, not just the story? Vanashri ji.
It's a very interesting question because I think everybody has done everything on Ramayana, from Kaikeyi to Dasharatha to Bharat Yatra, every little thing, Ahalya, everything has been done. Dhanurbhang, Sita's Kalyanam to Rama. But I went to Rameshwaram last year on my birthday, and I did the 21 times the Snanam before visiting that Rameshwaram Shiva, Bhagavan Shiva. And there I realized the story, and I would like to do that because I don't think that has been done many times. That is when Sita makes the Shivling with clay and to worship Lord Shiva, because Shiva was a protector of Ravana, and Shiva got angry when Rama killed Ravana. Because it is said, I read somewhere, that Rama is a Kshatriya and Ravana was a Brahmin, and Shiva, had protected Ravana, and he was very angry when Rama killed him. So to pacify Shiva in the seashore, after coming back from Lanka, Sita built the Shivling, and they did puja, and the Hanuman and Vanar Sena dug 21 wells from the ocean in all the devs and gods and Gandharvas and Munis' name, and they had to take 21 times Snanam or bath and then do the puja. So I thought that would be an interesting thing, because I can include their Shiva Tandava and how Rama is looking at Shiva and how he is praying, and then in the end, they all do the Stotram on Shiva. So because I am a devotee of Shiva, and I thought I can include that story from the Rameswaram temple.
That was indeed beautiful. And with this, let me come to Pratibha ji. Pratibha ji, originality has been an important hallmark of many of your works. Now, with the same note, how would you choreograph an original work on Lord Ram's life?
So, I already have actually, and not now, but about 22 years ago. It was called Sita, Parallel Realities. My production. So when I'm from South India, as you know, but when I came to North, I realized that Sita was not given the same prominence as Ram was, and so a lot of people said Jai Shri Ram, so it was actually Jai Sita Ram, Jai Siya Ram. It is not Jai Shri Ram, because in our, when we worship the gods, we worship the wives, we worship the feminine, divinity earlier than the male divinity, right? So it is Sita Ram, it's Radha Krishna, it's Lakshmi Venkateshwara, those kinds of things. So, and a lot of people, perceived Sita as this weak woman who kind of got kidnapped by this 10-headed Ravan, who was fascinated by her beauty, or maybe to take revenge because Shurpanika's nose got chopped off when she committed marriage with Lord Ram or Lakshmana, and that she was that she barely had a personality of her own, and that is the popular perception of Sita, that she was kidnapped, she cries, she weeps, then she's weak, she goes to Sri Lanka. And then she waits for Ram to come and save her, right? So I said, no, that is not Sita. So I read about 22 texts, not only Indian texts, the popular ones, of course, but 22 texts from India, Sri Lanka, Thailand, translations of it, Indonesia, and brought out my own story of Sita. So I called it Sita Parallel Realities. So my Sita is Swayambhu, right? Sita is not born of a woman or another, like a living being. She comes from Mother Earth. She is Swayambhu. So whenever we worship gods which are Swayambhu, we think about the power of that god emerging from Bhumi Devi, like Swayambhu. So Sita emerges from Bhumi Devi, Swayambhu. So she doesn't really, it's an adopted father, adopted kind of a family where she's taken in, and she grows up. And she grows up like a princess, of course. And the second part of my story is when she marries Ram, and they go to the forest, because I believe that the kinetic movement of Ramayana comes from Sita's abduction. Just imagine if Sita was not abducted by Ravana, then what would Ram do in his avatar? How would he fulfill his own divinity and his avatar? What did he have to stay? What was his story? So Sita provides the kinetic energy to Rama's story. So what would Rama's avatar be? What would be? How would he achieve his avatar if he did not go and fight Ravana, right? So Sita, my final episode, in the last thing, is when Sita is pregnant with her twins, and she's happy, and then she wants to visit Valmiki's ashram to take his blessings. So Rama at that time doesn't, to me as a woman, does not uphold dharma by his wife, as a husband, and as the father of her, sons. He tells Lakshmana, he calls Lakshmana and tells him, Lakshmana, take Sita to Valmiki's ashram. Please don't tell her anything. But once she reaches Valmiki's ashram, just leave her there and come back. Don't bring her back. Even Lakshmana is appalled. He says, you can't be listening to gossip and sending your wife away to Valmiki's ashram. It's not done. But, well, that's what happens. So finally, when Lava and Kusha and the Ashwamedha Yagna happen, and Rama comes back and tells Sita, thank you, I'm so sorry what happened. Now, I want to take you and my children back to Ayodhya. Please come back with me. You know what Sita tells him in my production? And as per the text that I read, she says, Ram, what kind of a person are you? When, your stepmother Kaikeyi asked you to go to the forest, you told me you're a princess, you can't, be in the forest with me. So marry Bharata, my brother, because he's going to become the king of Ayodhya, so you can remain in this palace. And I asked you, Ram, are you a Nipumsak? Why would you, wantonly want me to marry your brother? I want to go with you to the forest. Because I was the kinetic movement in Ramayana, Ram. You didn't realize that. Later you thought that you were coming to save me. But as Vedavati in my previous birth, I had saved myself from Ravana and from the likes of Ravana. So even in this birth, I'm a Swayambhu. My mother is there to protect me. I can always save myself from any Rakshasa or any man for that matter. But I waited for you to come, Ram, because you had to make your avatar Sampurna. You had to fulfill your destiny as Rama. What would Rama avatar be otherwise? So I waited for you. But don't worry, I'm not coming back because I don't want to be the queen of Ayodhya. And I have given you 2 sons. They are the future of your kingdom, and they will become kings. You can take your sons back with you, and I will go back to the bosom of my mother earth. Then she prays the beautiful Tamil prayer. She says, Bhumi Devi, Adathanai. Come on, open Bhumi Devi, my mother, take me, because I don't want to go with that man, and I don't want to be just a queen, because I have fulfilled my destiny here. Please take me. And the earth just opens, and Sita goes down and embraces her, and Ram is shocked, because then he realizes what Sita was. Sita was pure Prakriti. She was pure nature. In Prakriti is power, because there is no precedent or antecedent to Prakriti. Prakriti is she, and that was the power of she, and I had to show the power of Sita in the story. So this is what I had done. It was called Sita Parallel Realities. Initially there was a lot of kind of a very critical kind of a reaction to it as to how can she do this, but then I think a lot of people embraced it when they understood that Sita was not some weakling, but she was Prakriti herself, and so she could not be controlled by man or Rakshas, be it nobleman or a Rakshas.
Indeed, very deep, that how you try to understand the divinity of the epic Ramayana, the divinity, the deeper messages with Lord Ram's life, and again with such prolific research that you've read, more than 20 texts, with respect to this important composition. Very interesting indeed. And with that, let me come to Alaknanda ji. Alaknanda ji, we're talking about originality, and yes, sir, as we have three wonderful gurus, choreographers known for their distinct art forms. So, Alaknanda ji, how would you, conceptualize, choreograph an original work on Lord Ram's life?
I think we all are very awakened because we are all educated and we have a very different soul to each of us. Our spirits are very different. For me, I would like to see Ramayana from the perspective of Ravana. Ravana has 10 heads. It's not about 10 heads, it's about the intelligence and the talents and the knowledge of 10 people. It's like 10 Shaktis coming together in one person, and at the end when he's dying, so Rama has to go, he takes the lessons from Ravana to know the values or the whatever preachings Ravana had to give. So I would like to see how would Ravan see Ramayana. Everybody has heard about this side. And also I would like to see another part, that is Urmila. Lakshman left his wife in the palace, whereas Sita went along with the Ram. So the lonesome woman was Urmila. How did she feel towards Ramayana? So these are the two aspects that I would like to work on, read about, and put it in front of the people. We know that it's going to be a lot of debate as you're talking about the Sita. There's a lot of going to be discussions, why is she looking from the other side, but it's very important now that we need to look from the other side of the ocean.
So indeed, very delightful and insightful perspectives coming forward as we're all celebrating the pious occasion of Ramanavami. So we have, some important innovative insights looking at the life of Lord Ram with the perspective of Lord Shiva, Goddess Sita, and the other side looking at the Ravan perspective also. Now with that, as we just said that you're all three renowned choreographers, gurus, you're revered all over the nation, and your performances at national and international level and scales have been appreciated. With that, help us understand with these distinctive approaches that how do you conceptualize an idea? And with that, how do you put that idea into a proper concept of an artistic presentation? Vanashri.
I am a Kuchipudi artist, and Kuchipudi is a dance drama tradition where originally the dancers used to sing, speak and dance. So the dramatic elements are very important in Kuchipudi. So when I conceptualized my productions under dramatic tales, I was thinking of putting forward stories in classical dance where the younger generations will also come and watch. Because what happens is that when we do only traditional dance numbers as a duo, which I was doing with my husband for the last 38 years, we used to have a kind of a limited audience for that. But if you do something interesting, but within the framework of classical work or classical traditions, which is my field, I think it could have been done. So I went for that, and my first thing was to choose what I was going to do and the text. Sahityam is very important for me because the Sahityam, the literature, I think it used to be very strong in the older days. So Sahityam, and then the music, the proper usage of ragas, the proper usage of the situation and the ragas, and then the dancing. So the dance comes last in my choreography. First is the visualization of the story, and scene by scene I will write it down because it comes to me like a sort of a, I'm sorry to say, but this is true, it comes like a vision, scene by scene. So first I write the stories and then I search for the text, which is usually Sanskrit, because Sanskrit has a lot of weight in its words, and of course Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, everything. And then I go for the composition of dance. So when the music is, according to my knowledge, very interesting, gripping, crisp, and dramatic, and the storyline is dramatic, I think then only I am able to do, because I have to be true to my concept. I cannot say I am doing dramatic tale and then do a very normal situational story. It has to fulfill that concept. So I try to do that.
Indeed, very interesting. Pratibha ji, whenever we talk about Bharatnatyam, the wonderful work Prasiddha Foundation, Forum for Arts Beyond Borders has been doing, not only with respect to artistic reflections, but also above all looking at the big picture, that how our arts have a unique soft power. With that important context, please let's get into the important discussion on genesis of choreography from your perspective.
Well, I'm going to be brief, and I'm going to tell you that I think that the idea of doing something has to be intuitive. It has to come from within you. It can't be told to you by somebody else, saying that, okay, this occasion is happening, or this performance is there, so why don't you choreograph something on this theme? If that happens, then it doesn't come from within you. So the genesis of an idea, a concept, has to be from within you. Only then can a creative artist, put her life and soul into it. Otherwise, you can't. You'll just be imitating what others are doing. So for me, like Vanashri ji said, I have to dream an idea. It's like I dream an idea. I just sit, keep thinking, and suddenly I wake up and say, okay, that is my idea. This is what I'm going to do now. You're right. So once I get that idea, the base idea into my mind, I start researching. I spend days and days and days and hours and hours and hours researching. I read a lot of texts, not just the text itself, but interpretations of the text, and sub stories, little stories, and people's opinions on those particular on that particular story or the character or whoever. Then I write down exactly like her, scene by scene, what I wish to do, like how I want to. How do I conceptualize it? How do I visualize it? I write down scene by scene. Then I sit with my musicians and I tell them that this is my idea, this is the concept, and these are the scenes, and this is where I want this particular rasa, in music. So we experiment. It's a process. It's a long process. It's not something that happens overnight. And sometimes you do something, and next day it doesn't sound good to you. So you come back to the drawing board and you say, okay, I'm going to change the music. I want a change of rhythm. I don't like this rhythm. I don't like the way it's going. It's too soft or too loud or whatever. So we want to change it. It has to be different for each scene. There can't be repetitions. So we do that. And after, when the music is somewhat ready, not fully ready, but somewhat ready, is when the process of dance takes place. Because when you're dancing, also you have to change the music or the rhythm. It can't be like you have a certain music and rhythm and you have to dance to that, right? So sometimes when the dance choreography itself warrants that you change that little pattern of your rhythmic pattern or your musicality to bring the right emotion in, the right power into the choreographic work. So I do that, and then the choreography goes on evolving. I mean, it's not, you present it the first time with live musicians, then you say, okay, I'm happy with this, but it needs to be changed, and you go back and present it. So I don't record my music till we actually presented it a few times, because I feel that there's a chance that you may want to change it, and there's always a chance that you may want to represent it differently, the same character or the same theme or the same concept. So I experiment with it a lot, and I'm my worst critic, and I hate to see myself dance, and I hate to see my productions. So I keep it's like in the visions are there in my mind, and I say, okay, this is bad, this I have to change, kind of thing, So I just go back and I keep working on it till I feel fairly happy with it. But I've never reached a stage when I'm thrilled about my own dance or my choreography, and I hope before I leave this world, God will give me one opportunity where I'll say to myself that, yeah, I did it. I'm happy with what I presented.
So sweet.
So that's where it is.
No, surely. And yes, it's so interesting to listen that how there has to be multiple layers of perfection. That's what one gets the sense that how you minutely monitor not just the idea but also the execution part. And with that, Alaknanda, I know it's a delight listening to such wonderful varied approaches. I learned on Kuchipudi, then Bharatnatyam, and with that, let's know from you that when it's there, with respect to idea and the concept, how do you really get the right execution?
So when you talk about Kathak, it is Katha kahe so Kathak kehlave. So the Kathak is a storyteller. So we all are storytellers, in our own way, and we are using the space and the rhythm and the music to tell the story in our own way. Because as I say, we are women who are awakened, who are of today's time. I would like to work, and the way I work, I like to bring a catalyst to the society, something that would change the mind or make the audience think, well, is this progressive or not progressive? Are we watching that something which is progressive, or are we still hung on to the old traditions? The art style is traditional. The application of the art style is traditional, very ethnic, right from the 1,000 years that our ancient culture is coming. But what we are giving to the audience should be new, should be something that makes them think. They should go back home thinking what they have watched and what they have taken away from us. So actually we are also the givers, We are just not performing, we are givers to the audience, we are givers to the society, and that's what makes me work on my concept, because I would like to make that sudden, subtle change in the society which would be progressive.
Indeed, very interesting perspectives coming forward from three renowned gurus and choreographers with respect to significance of Lord Ram in our lives. How would they conceptualize an original work pertaining to Lord Ram, and most important, the genesis of choreography from the varied dance from Kuchipudi, Bharatnatyam, Kathak. So on that note, many thanks Adarniya Pratibha ji, Adarniya Vanashri ji and Alaknanda ji. So indeed it's been a divine treat for all arts lovers at this online edition of Delhi International Arts Festival. Once again, warm greetings to everyone on the auspicious occasion of Ramanavami. Shubha Ramanavami to everyone, and celebrating the same, we now will be presenting to you 4 beautiful dance presentations pertaining to Lord Ram's life.
Thank you so much for joining us for the online edition of Delhi International Arts Festival. Bhavayami Raghuramam is a Sanskrit composition epitomizing the Ramayana, originally composed in a single raga. It was converted to a garland of ragas, Rag Malika, by the doyen of Carnatic music, Semangudi Srinivas Iyer, a century later. Bhavayami Raghuramam in Rag Malika, Tal Rupak, composer Maharaja Swati Thirunal, choreography by Pratibha Prahlad-ji. Devki Mishra in Bharatnatyam, disciple of renowned dancer and Padma Shri awardee Pratibha Prahlad-ji.
Bhavayami Raghuramam Bhavya Suguna Ramam Bhavayami Raghuramam Bhavya Suguna Ramam Bhavayami
Gutaka digina tom ta hata jom tarita cham tarita kataritai chana chana kuku tarita kuku tarita kutaritai cham tarita jaga tarita chana chana ta తరిత తళంగు తక తదిగిణతం చెడ చెడ తుకుందరితై తళంగు తొం తదిగిణతం తుకుందరి తక్కుదరిత తళంగు తొం చెడకు తరగడం
భాగ్యామి రఘురామం భవ్య సుగుణ రామం భవ్య సుగుణ రామం
We need to make classical dance more audience friendly and continue to educate and initiate newer audiences to appreciate this fine classical form. With this view, Pavitra Krishna Bhatt has been working hard to make his performances easily understood and appreciated by audiences across the globe. Pavitra Krishna Bhatt has choreographed thematic presentations like Sri Ramayana to great acclaim. Sri Ramayana by Pavitra Krishna Bhatt and troupe.
वचन प्राण राजा दशरथ वचन प्राण राजा दशरथ वचन प्राण राजा दशरथ वीर उदार अयोध्याधीश इक्ष्वाकुकुल भूपति रघुकुल इक्ष्वाकुकुल भूपति रघुकुल राजा दशरथ वचन प्राण राजा दशरथ अति संयम सज्जन है सुशील अति संयम सज्जन है सुशील राजा गुरु पिता दाशरथि कुल राजा गुरु पिता दाशरथि कुल महापराक्रमी महान धीरथ महापराक्रमी महान धीरथ राजा दशरथ वचन प्राण राजा दशरथ रहे। श्री राम में लक्ष्मण 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 रहे। श्री राम ही आराधना है। श्री राम ही हर चेतना है। श्री राम ही मन सब रहे। श्री राम में लक्ष्मण रहे। श्री राम में लक्ष्मण रहे।
अंजनी के पूत है। नित्य सत्य सत्व बुद्धिमान ऋषि श्रेष्ठ है। नित्य सत्य सत्व बुद्धिमान ऋषि श्रेष्ठ है। राम भक्त हनुमान है। महाबली हनुमान है। राम भक्त हनुमान है। महाबली हनुमान है। श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम भक्ति लक्ष्य है। राम भक्ति प्राण है। श्री राम भक्ति लक्ष्य है। राम भक्ति प्राण है। राम भक्ति लक्ष्य है। राम भक्ति प्राण है। श्री राम राम रोम रोम राम राम नाम है। राम राम रोम रोम राम राम नाम है। राम भक्त हनुमान है। राम भक्त हनुमान है। महाभागवत हनुमान है। हनुमान है। राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। वीरध्वज विजय मान्य। वीरध्वज विजय मान्य। जितेन्द्रिय रामाभिमान। जितेन्द्रिय रामाभिमान। तत्व राम ध्येय राम बुभुकार राम है। तत्व राम ध्येय राम बुभुकार राम है। राम भक्त हनुमान है। राम भक्त हनुमान है। पवन पुत हनुमान है। पवन पुत हनुमान है। राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम। विशाल देह देहधारी अति सूक्ष्म रूपधारी विशाल देहधारी अति सूक्ष्म रूपधारी धर्म राम राम है सो प्राण है राम धर्म राम है सो प्राण है राम भक्त हनुमान है राम भक्त हनुमान है अजेय हनुमान है रुद्र के अवतारी है अंजनी के पूत है नित्य सत्य सत्व बुद्धिमान ऋषि श्रेष्ठ है नित्य सत्य सत्व बुद्धिमान ऋषि श्रेष्ठ है राम भक्त हनुमान है महाबली हनुमान है राम भक्त हनुमान है महाबली हनुमान है श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम जय जय राम जय जय राम
विजय 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 ध्वज राम जयतु 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 श्रीराम विजय 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 ध्वज राम जयतु 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 श्रीराम विजय श्री राम है विजयी श्री राम विजय श्री राम है विजयी श्री राम एक बाण वचन पूर्णावतारी राम अयोध्या श्री राम की अवध्य श्री राम अयोध्या श्री राम की अवध्य श्री राम विजय 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 ध्वज राम जयतु 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 श्री राम 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 जय राम 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 विजय 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 ध्वज राम विजय 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 ध्वज राम जयतु 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 श्री राम जयतु 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 श्री राम जय श्री राम है जय श्री राम जय श्री राम है जय श्री राम एक बाण वचने पूर्णावतारी राम एक बाण वचने पूर्णावतारी राम पूर्णावतारी राम पूर्णावतारी राम जय 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 ध्वज राम जयतु 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 जयतु
Satyanarayana Raju diligently essays multifaceted roles of a dancer, teacher, and choreographer while training several students at his institute Samskriti, the Temple of Art. Satyanarayana Raju presents Bhavayami through this group choreography. Legendary dancer and choreographer Ramli Ibrahim, founder of Sutra Dance Theatre, has put Indian classical dance and Malaysia on the international stage. He is also accomplished in ballet and modern dance, He is acknowledged as an example of living heritage by the government of Malaysia and was awarded one of the highest civilian honors in India. He is acknowledged as an example of living heritage by the government of Malaysia and was awarded Padma Shri by the government of India. Jai Ram by Sutra Dance Company of Malaysia, choreographer Ramli Ibrahim.
सर्वनामत्रयामि वह
Thank you so much for joining us for the online edition of Delhi International Arts Festival. Namaskar. Shubh Ratri.